Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with the police car having an issue with a cone. Yes, that is a very, very large number of rolls and it's still going from having hit a single cone. I mean, I've seen crashes off of that ramp before. I've crashed off there myself before, but never quite to that extent. It is very impressive, and then it's also quite stuck on its roof. It doesn't want to turn over for whatever reason, but there we go. Eminem's up next on a GTA 5, goes to run over a bike and gets insta-karma. It's tempting to run over the bikes, especially when you have a big Sand King, but sometimes karma is there and it is all powerful. Mellow Lucky up next on Horizon 4 is driving around in a 458 and goes for a little bit of a shortcut. And well, gets beaten by a ladder. Yes, that has skewered the car by a 4.8, actually. Never mind, ignore me. They're all the bloody same. Tries to go through a gap and, yeah, has managed to get the ladder wedged in the back of the car and it's still stuck on top of the roof. Can't see if I've ever come across that one in Horizon 4 before, but there we go. Asking Bubble up next is doing a speed run with the Jesco. It's doing its, well, big old wheelie almost sort of thing going on that some of the high-speed cars do on this game. Everything is going kind of okay until lightly brushes past a traffic car, and then we're going to go for a triple backwards roll to land on the wheels. For whatever reason, when cars do go backwards in Horizon, they do sometimes get this sort of weird spiralling. That's a hell of a roll for the car. Mike up next on Project Cars, this with the Formula Renaults, I believe they are. Car ahead gets things wrong, is into a wall, and then everything goes badly for these two. So this vehicle, fair enough, can't avoid it. We then have a little statue to the Formula Renaults that's quite stuck. It does, unfortunately, get nudged clear by more AIs arriving on the scene, but there we go. And Nascar up next on Nascar 2003 with vehicles that are not paying any attention to the laws of physics, and physics quickly catches up with them. They got away with it for a brief few seconds. The laws of physics stopped applying. It then very quickly started. Yeah, they just came around this corner and decided to merge as one, and the game went, oh crap, we're supposed to do something with these. Just pings them out the other side. Yeah, that's. I guess that's the best possible outcome, and amazingly didn't really cause a bigger wreck than just that, because NASCAR 2003 AI do sometimes cause big problems. T18 on Ultimate Blister 2 with the Aussie racing cars, finding out that's a nasty corner. There's a nasty corner in many vehicles at Adelaide. It causes lots of crashes. They don't normally quite go for that sort of a spectacular roll and tumble through all of that. Calvin Toller up next on Assetto Corsa with an unusual choice of drift car. I mean, I approve. You're going to have a drift car. Go for something wacky and weird and, yeah, go for whatever the hell this boxy thing is. However, it's got a little bit wrong. That's your wheel's got inside out. That's a little too much drifting. Has gone on there. We're on to a Beam and G drive next with some high-speed tarmac rallying, and of course, when things go wrong on Beam, especially when they go wrong at this sort of speed, they do tend to go wrong spectacularly. It was just a little bit too much onto two wheels. Somehow managed to slide between the trees and then off the edge of the kind of ravine, if you like. That's a hell of a crash. Yeah, it's got a little bit too much on the bumps, and that is the result. Sometimes your rally crashes are slightly less spectacular. Sometimes they happen just meters from the finish line. Average Volvo finding out that curb is very, very solid and completely destroys the car on the curb. There's no drive, there's nothing left from that one. That is a horrible little section that catches out a number of people on this particular scenario. But yeah, it just tears the car apart. It's a little bit pulled across the finish line. It does get there in the end. Oh dear. Timmy up next on a Driven to Destruction with the AI wanting to do its best rally game impression. Yep, that is over a jump. That's a wonderful barrel roll, I have to say. Just uses a split ramp. Yeah, you see a lot of rolls and carry on in rally games, but yet we can do it in a destruction game as well. It is pretty much spot on. I mean, the car lands ever so slightly twisted, but still really rather good going. Dozy up next on Construction Simulator is trying to load something on the back of the truck, and then physics has had a nope. going on there. It's trying to, like, I think put the crate away or whatever it is, secure the stuff in the back of the truck, but it's not having it. Nope, it's definitely not having any of it. It's now on the roof, it's now in the house, we're now somewhere else, we're on the road, and we're back into the sky again. The bed at one point briefly looked like it fixed itself. It then has pinged it, it's still pinging itself around. We're gonna spiral about wildly out of control. It's trying to release the load. Nope, still not happy with that. It looks like SnowRunner. Some of the nonsense that's gone on there. We're now all the way up into space. Although that one there does seem... it fixed it briefly, and now we're back to being angry truck. Oh, and then we're fine. I don't know where it's gone, but it's fine. Speaking of stuff rather stuck, Spud Gaming up next in War Thunder, and the great amalgamation of tanks. Now, I guess at the start of the match, the way the game spawned the tanks in, it spawned 2 tanks in the same place, and well, the game doesn't really know how to deal with 2 tanks being stuck in the same place, because, well, neither of them can really drive very much. They can't really sort of pull each other around. They're just sort of sat there, jittering about rather uncomfortably. I mean, they are still... I guess you can still shoot. You know, one can look one way and one can look the other way, but it's not exactly like you're in safety here. And it is quite... Yeah, it's difficult to be camouflaged when you've got 2 glitchy tanks. You know, the game is still going on around. Somebody else has spawned in, respawned. Oh, now we're going to go for... let's almost be vertical here. Definitely not how tanks should be, not how physics should be either. There's a barrel going through a tank. That's fine, I guess. It's almost sorted itself out. Like, if it keeps pinging up, it might eventually get free, but now it's kind of stopped climbing vertically. The other tank's just decided, you know what, I've had enough, we're going to drive. We're going to bring along our twin. We're just going to go along to whatever we're supposed to be doing. I guess, you know, that works. You've got kind of double the firepower. I don't know what would happen if this tank got exploded. What would happen to the wrecks if... unfortunately, we never find out on that one. Because it's still glitching its way around now. We're going to start getting a wheelie from the other tank. It is almost fully vertical now, the one that we are on board with, as it's made some progress. It clonks its way into another train carriage, gets destroyed by the merging of the tanks. Still going to sit vertically. It does eventually fall back down, and it's with this that the tank is finally released and can continue on its normal way. I don't like no damage was done in all of that. Just a load of time wasted, but no damage. Sure, the best way to possibly start a tank battle. Why not? We'll go with that. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. That link to that can be found in the description here. You can submit, and all of the rules, etc., are on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.